Hola, 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 bienvenidos, welcome back to my channel. We are 2 weeks away from July, so you know what that means. I gotta get working on my July project because I've been working behind the scenes, making my sister a dress, which I will be making a video out of that. I decided that I can do a quote-unquote easy to sew shirt. And I came across my pattern stash, the McCall's Mrs. and Junior blouses. I'm going to be making the version E, and I'm going to be making the version B. The version E, I will be making it out of this fabric. Put it up close. It used to be a tablecloth, and I converted it into like a very quick and easy dress, and I did wear it. It's right here, and I haven't picked it up since. And on Pinterest, I've come across this shirt. So I've been seeing it everywhere, and I wanted to buy it, but I said maybe you can make it. It looked kind of easy. I actually found they sell the pattern for it on Etsy. So, and also I shouldn't be buying more patterns. So I said, this piece right here looks similar and maybe I can modify it. So as you can see on this one, the bust area is left alone. The bottom portion has shearing, which I do have elastic thread. So I'm going to shear that, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it all the way to the hem or leave it open just like this version, and then just do 2 strips and tie it on the shoulders to give it that same look. That is going to be made out of this fabric. Now this fabric used to be a tablecloth, and I got this at a thrift store. I've used it other times to make samples, but this time I said I don't have any other white fabric, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm hoping that it comes out. We are going to find out together if it works or not. So let's start. When I start any project, I like to grab my notebook and write down the pattern numbers that the piece will require. This way, I don't go back and forth looking for the info, and it's all in one location. I've cut pieces that didn't belong to the pattern, and I end up wasting fabric. And that's one thing I dislike the most. Because I'm such a forgetful person, I do a checklist. Once I check the pieces I need, I put those aside and put away the pieces I don't back into its sleeve. Sometimes I'm doing things so fast, I mark a pattern piece that I don't need. For example, this sleeve. I don't need it, so I'm going to have to cross it out from the original checklist that I made. After I make sure that all my pieces are complete, I then go ahead and trace it on this parch paper. And I got this idea from Tasha. Her YouTube name is Tasha Can Make That. And honestly, it's such a great idea because I've had really horrible experiences where I've ripped the original pattern. And if for whatever reason I want to sell it in the future, the pieces will be in good condition. I don't know why this week I'm feeling so lazy to do this, but let's go ahead and sometimes that's how it goes. But once I start getting the hang of it, then I'm like on track and I'm like doing my thing. So and this one, vintage patterns also give you like the seam allowance. So if you want to go ahead and trace that. So if you are nervous about the seam allowance, that would be great. Don't forget all your notches. I like to put them inward because I just do a little cut. So now that I'm looking at the pattern, I notice that they have some darts here. And because I'm going to do that modification shirt, I don't know if I want to remove the dart or leave it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it as the original, and then I'm going to copy another one, and I'm going to close the dart and then copy the side. That way I'm not accounting for that dart and extra fabric. So I'm scared, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will show you that in a minute. Let me go ahead and finish this, and let's move into the next clip. This is my idea. I don't even know if this is correctly, and whoever's watching, if I'm doing it incorrectly, feel free to let me know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring this over here And my thought is kind of like if this was sewn like this, and I'm gonna kind of like position it. I am screaming at myself as I'm editing this video. I can tell you already, I see my error. I wish I could tell right now, take your time, walk your pattern, meaning match your pattern. The hem is so way high, and if I had noticed that it was not matching, the armhole would have come down, and at the end result wouldn't have been a tight armhole, which I'll tell you guys when I put it on. But yeah, let's continue with the video. So here I am going to, I'm just gonna make it straight. Now I'm removing like all of this and make it straight. So let's just see if it does something, so, or if I completely made a mistake. So let's continue. So it turns out that this dress is not gonna work, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I am going to scrap that. And I went into my stash and found this silky, I'm not quite sure what kind of fabric it is. It makes me feel very 1960s, even like late 1950s. So I'm gonna cut the fabric out of this and hopefully it works. It's a little flimsy for what I'm used to, but again, I am trying to use all my fabric that I have in my stash. So let's do this. Okay, so like always, after we cut our pieces, what do we have to do first? Markings, that means darts and notches and any other dots that require. If you ever come across these at estate sales, by all means grab them. These are dressmaker tracing paper and they are amazing to trace all your darts. Okay, so sometimes I like to mark the middle line of the dart, which allows me to immediately know where to fold. And then I mark the dot here. I didn't do that on the other one, so let me do that really quickly. X to mark the spot. I want to know who of you sew at home and make your own clothes. Let's chat. Okay, let me go ahead and now make this a smaller table because I'm using my whole living space. And let's start sewing. Okay, we're gonna definitely need our scissors. I do have a smaller pair, but this works too. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna keep that and I'm gonna put my chalk away. Bringing out the sewing machine, the one that everyone's hating on. Go ahead and change thread. I want to start the shearing first. So let me get that and then we'll be back. I have my elastic thread, my white thread, bobbin, so I can thread the thread. Is that how you say it? And this is the front. Okay, so this is my idea, and this is what just from my head. I am thinking, and we always have to remember that there's seam allowances here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark where I want the shearing to go, and I think I'm gonna start it like right here. So let's get a pencil. I'm gonna go like right here and right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and mark it on my fabric. Then I'm gonna go over to my, oh, let me show you guys. So I've marked, all right, so it seems like I was so off. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow this line here. I'm gonna buy another one of these, but this is a disappearing and then the mark be gone, which means this has to be washed off. And this one is just, it actually just disappears by the end of your project. Maybe like right here and then right here. Mark the first line, and that means this is 5 1/4 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to go here. Here we are going to do 5. What was it? 5. It's like right there. That doesn't look right, does it? Let's find out. Put them side by side, and it should match. Yes, it's matching right there. And I think I'm gonna do like, I'm gonna do 3/4 better. I also do not want to waste my entire thing. So I'm gonna do 3/4 and I'm just gonna do the lines all the way down so that can give me my guide. Okay, I have successfully marked my front and my back pieces, and I'm going to now roll the elastic to my bobbin. This has to be done by hand and not stretch the thread. Let's go ahead, and sometimes like this little thing sticks out. I just cut it. Girl, I got no time to pin it right back. And just slowly do this. So let me do that and then thread my machine and let's get started. And as I keep going, it's gonna like shrink more. Let's do this. I have to do it now all over again. Got my pieces all done. Here it is. Here's the front of it. So let's just hope that this works. So I am going to continue, and where are my instructions? Wow, I've never done this before where I base stitch together and try it on for fitting before I stitch the seams like for rows. I've never done that. This paper is so thin. Look at it. I need to make copies of it. And that is why I like to transfer things on regular paper. Okay, I'm gonna go to the iron machine and press them. Day 2, and turns out that I do have to individually sew them, sort of, because the collar, the way that the collar is placed is not collar. The way that the facings are placed are a bit different. So it is saying that I should put a zipper on the back, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a snap here at the corner so it could just, this could be free and opened. But it is looking super cute. Let me show you guys. Can't really see much. Why is it so dark in here? Anyways, let's continue. So my brain cannot compute what is going on in this hem section right here. So I'm just gonna do a basic turnover and do the armhole and kind of be done with it so I can move on to the next shirt. But I feel like I'm cheating, but not really, because I've done that all the time. But I do want to learn that method because that method looks really nice. So for now, we're just going to do a basic one, do the armhole, and we should be done. Done with shirt number 1. Now we are going to do shirt number 2. So I'm almost there, and all I gotta do is side seams, facing for the neck. I'm gonna do the strings for the sides, and yeah, I think I should be done. And this piece is sort of like, it goes all around. So did I cut 2 of these? Oh yeah. Ding. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and honestly, I think, I mean, it's looking like that photo, but of course, I will show it at the end. I don't know what happened in my cutting, which I'm gonna double check and see what's going on. I'm laughing watching this, you guys, but yeah, do you remember when I told you guys that my hem was not gonna match? The side seams are not matching. Like, I cut a whole ass. Look at that. The side, I'm like, what the hell? And it could not be like the stretch. I don't think so. So I'm gonna check my pattern. I'm gonna end up like just sewing straight the seams, and I'm not gonna like do the opening like I did on the other one. It just does not make any sense. I remember what happened. Remember that we closed the dart and I didn't readjust the size afterwards. I know what happened. So I'm just gonna cut it off. Didn't properly did. I just got kind of excited and just decided to do that without walking my pattern. And it's done. I am so happy with the turnout. And as always, let's go ahead and talk about the good, the bad, and what I could change. So let's bring over the complete look. And again, I love it. I love the color. I think it's super cute. I think the only issue which I could feel is the neck. It feels a little tight than normal. Maybe I can go ahead and open it up a little bit when I redo this version. And honestly, that is the only thing I would change. Everything else seems really good. Super cute. It's giving me the vintage vibe. Just throw on this shirt, some capris, and we are ready to go. So it is such a beautiful summer look, and I'm so happy with it. Now let's talk about the other shirt. Now, the other shirt does have some issues as we saw it in the video. I don't know what happened. I don't know where my brain was at. But the concept itself was there. From the bust down, perfect, right? The shearing worked as I had planned. However, because I did not walk my pattern properly, the hem was shortened. The armhole got smaller, so that's why it's a little tighter. I didn't even bother to make the straps to tie the bow on the top because I knew that I'm going to use this as my sample. I know the mistake, so now next time I'm going to go ahead and create another one using a proper measurements. But other than that, I just think it's cute and my idea worked. That is the most exciting thing, when ideas from my head actually work on the project. So what do you guys think? Did I nailed the image with the inspo? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.